Let's go, y'all. So many games in the association. This one was good. Let's take a look, though, at the history of the Joker and the Nuggets in his 50-point outings. Entering Wednesday, Denver had lost all 4 games when Jokic scored 50 or more, including the playoffs dating back to 2021. So how would things go? Well, we got the answer early, Danny.
Yeah, I mean, they make him beat him. He definitely beat him. Clippers don't have enough on the roster to beat this Denver Nuggets team.
Yeah, I think that's kind of an understatement these days. There's an and one son. Jokic draws the foul on Brook Lopez on the jumper. He hits it, and then on the pick and pop, Wendy, top of the key.
Okay, I was at this game. This is one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my career.
Jokic had 25 in the first Nugget with 25-point quarter since Melo had 33 in 2008. Now let's jump to the third quarter. Jokic sitting at 42 points, doing it on both ends, Bert.
Pushing the rock, most skilled big ever played the game of basketball. First team, all whack bodies.
Oh, well, I'm going to say your body. You look good now, Perk, but look at that right there. Jokic taking it coast to coast, and a few minutes later, he's now up to 50 points. Hits the jump hook in the lane. He had 52 through 3 quarters, his 4th career 50-point game in the regular season, the most in Nuggets history. Now in the 4th, he checks back in with 6 minutes to go at 52. Nice little dap up right there. And then he just does the easy, nice little tip in right there for 54 points. He finished with 55 after adding the free throw to go along with 12 rebounds and 6 assists. Here was the Joker after the game.
I mean, it was just a good night. The players, the guys, especially in the fourth quarter, they're giving me the ball, and it was going in. I just keep shooting it. I didn't open the game really good. I think I missed like 2-3 layups, and after that, it felt good.
Our game plan was to, make him score and just take away his passes and take everybody else out of the game. I thought the first half we did a good job with that. We knew Jamal Murray would be more aggressive in the second half, but I didn't think he would score 55.
He's making the whole league think again. Jokic was hooping like he went to Ball So Hard University, and anytime you end up on a list with Wilt and Elgin, you had yourself a game, sir. He didn't just drop a double nickel. He had 12 boards and 6 dimes. It was his 3rd 55-10-5 game ever, tied for the 2nd most all time.
Yeah.
It's your girl, Chanel Gomake, filling in for the one and only Malika Andrews, here with the crew, Brian Windhorst, Danny Green, and Kendrick Perkins. And Perk, what do you think the motivation was behind Jokic's 55-piece lemon wings type of situation?
Yeah, habanero style. Now look, I grew up a Rockets fan. Clutch City, Elijah Warren. I watched him my entire childhood life, okay? And he makes Elijah Warren great games look like regular games, the numbers that he's putting up. He's the most skilled player to ever play the game. I'm not mad at Ty Lue's game plan because Zubac is one of the best defenders, post defenders in the game. He's guarded Jokic better than anyone else in the entire league over the past year and a half. But what happened is that we saw greatness last night. We saw greatness. We saw a guy come into arena fresh off of back-to-back, going against one of the most elite defenders in the league at the post position and give him that work. Straight business. And so when you think about Jokic and people start to have these conversations of where he ranked, and I'm going to tell you this, he's the best center I've seen in the last 20 years. I know that damn much.
I mean, he is very skilled. There's a young guy that's up and coming that could catch him at some point.
Who?
And Victor Wembanyama, and he's a very skilled big as well, and he is on his way. But it is a shame because Jokic, as great as he is and all the things he's doing, I think we're kind of taking it for granted. And he's in that LeBron conversation. I'm sure Wendy will speak about the numbers that he's putting up, and he's just been doing it for half a decade now of being in an MVP conversation, and not only doing it from inside, but doing it from 3. Last year he was 40+ from 3. His numbers are unbelievable, but because he does it so often and so easily, people are not appreciating or respecting it. 50-point triple-double, any triple-double, I don't think I've ever gotten one in my life. He's getting 50-point triple-doubles and making it look easy, and we're kind of taking it for granted. But, he's a special player, and some could argue one of the best bigs we've ever seen in the history of the game.
Are you going to dive into the numbers?
So I'm just trying to keep some November composure.
Yeah.
I don't want to do anything crazy in November. He showed back to me later.
I need you to get out of character.
Jokic is doing stuff. It's wild, man. He's shooting 78% on 2-pointers. 78.
Yeah, that's a high
Okay?
number.
He's leading the league in rebounds. He's leading the league in assists, okay? Every 100 possessions that he's on the court, I want you to listen to what I'm about to say. I'm going to try to keep it under control. Every 100 possessions he's on the court, the Nuggets are scoring 151 points. Every 100 possessions he's on the court defensively, the Nuggets are giving up 104 points. That means every 100 possessions he's out there, the Nuggets are outscoring the opposition by 47 points, okay? And I want you to, I know, and we're about to talk about Oklahoma City, because I'm not taking a single thing away from Oklahoma City. Denver has a man who is playing at the absolute peak of his powers, and so nothing can be taken away from him. And Denver has the number 2 defense in the league. Look out. These numbers that he is doing these are Wilt Chamberlain-esque numbers. I wasn't alive for Wilt Chamberlain had these numbers. You hear about these seasons. Wilt averaged 50 points and 25 rebounds, and he had 75 consecutive quadruple doubles or whatever. And you're like, I don't believe any of that. He's doing Wilt Chamberlain type stuff now. I know we're 11 games in. I got to calm down.
I got you. I got you.
Let me say this to y'all, though, seriously, that you point that out. He's also happy, right? He seemed like he's in a happy place. Last year, we saw a lot of frustration, right? And so when you see certain players, and I'm not taking a shot at Russ, I'm just stating the facts here. Michael Porter Jr., right? And then all of a sudden you bring in team guys, Cam Johnson, Tim Hardaway Jr., Bruce Brown. All of a sudden now we're seeing a more energetic Jokic and a better Jokic, which is scary as hell.
And Perk, you mentioned something on our call yesterday. You
I did.
said, and it's hard to move you off your positions, literally and figuratively, but you said the most important position the last few years is the wing. Have you changed your mind?
Yes, the most important position now is the big. It's the center position, right? Because you got to battle all these centers, right? You look around the league, we having all these young guys, Jokic, Şengün.
And who else?
Jalen Duren.
Victor Wembanyama.
He's leading the league in assists and rebounds. He's playing wing and center.
Yeah.
And let's talk about playing every position. Steph Curry was in San Antonio, Wembanyama and the Spurs. Now, Steph, my gosh, talk about a bounce-back game. But first, Victor Wembanyama with the O board here. Look at the stride, Wendy, just to get to the basket.
Stride, that's a journey for most people.
That's a great leap. Wembanyama had 31 points, 15 rebounds, 10 assists in the game. But Dre actually stepped up in a huge way because he had this matchup. He's 6'6", going up against 7'5". What did you admire about his defense, Wendy?
Well, you can't beat higher. You can't be higher than him, so you have to beat him lower. Watch Draymond get low on him. You can move gravity as tall as he is, and Draymond knows that. And Draymond came in with a game plan, and he executed it.
He absolutely did. Draymond Green, plus 15, went on the floor last night. Just effective in disruption, and you get a dap up from your coach when you are that effective. Now let's head to the third quarter. The Warriors were down 9. Steph Curry would have what I'd like to call, we've heard it many times, a flurry, Wendy.
I don't know where this ranks, but it felt impressive, especially considering they've been struggling. They're coming on the second night of a back-to-back. Draymond called some guys out the night before. Steph paid that off.
Yeah, he was going from deep, and he was knocking it down. When you see that type of emotion from Steph Curry, you know it's going to be most likely his night. Dancing in the middle of the paint.
How did he get there?
Going through traffic. I don't know. He nimbled his way through. Steph, huge night. Here, off ball, moving around the floor. Now this is teamwork. You're talking about team basketball, Perk.
2 for $1.
Knocks it down. The Warriors win by 5. Now, after the game, Steve Kerr called Steph Curry the son of the Warriors solar system. What did you see from him in that third quarter, Danny Green?
I mean, just excellence. We've seen it for 15 years now. I think year 17 for Steph. But he's so smart, and this is a tough matchup for San Antonio. Excuse me, Jokic didn't have a triple-double. Wemby did have a triple-double, but he was less effective from the defensive end because you got so much running around the perimeter. Steph realizes there's overload on one side, cuts through the paint, making Wemby be the guy to match up with him, gets open space, knock down 3. You got to get Wemby out there, try to get him active on the perimeter. So Steph did a great job with that. This is what impressed me the most about Steph. He didn't just kill him from 3. He did a lot from 2. He was only 5 for 16 from 3. But coming off these pin downs, De'Aaron Fox, only third game back, got to be more locked in. Comes off the pin down, you got to communicate, got to switch. They didn't get the switch. He gets an easy deuce. Looked like a nice little off the glass bank shot. got to call it, easy money.
Now, Danny, we have, though, Perk, seen this movie before when Steph is scoring. You know that Draymond feels like he's scoring too. But honestly, it gives him confidence on the other end. Draymond was in his bag. What did you say?
He was in his bag, and he's the heart and soul of this team. And to you box score lovers and you people that hate on Draymond, this is why he's one of the best defensive players of all time, because it doesn't have to show up in the box score. Look who he is guarding. Look at the fight. Look, he is guarding Victor Wembanyama, 7'7" alien. Look at him contest this to cause one of Victor's 8 turnovers. Here we are again, staying connected, communicating the pick and roll. Nice hedge right here, right? Giving this guy time, recovering back to stop the drive on Victor. Look, check this out. Another turnover, right? Caused by Draymond Green. Touching him up early, still communicating. Okay, he catches the ball. Look, give him space. Look at the contest by Draymond Green, right? That forced another turnover. So again, to you box score watchers, Draymond Green, his impact on the game is not going to show up in the box scores, but when you watch the damn game, you see his value on what he brings to this Golden State Warriors team.
So on one side, Steph Curry, 46 points, explodes in the third quarter. And then on the other side, Draymond's signature defense. Like fine wine, Steph Curry is aging like what, a fine Napa Valley Cabernet Sauvignon? I hope I got that right. Steph got his 43rd 40-point game since turning 30 years old. The only player who has more after the big 3-0 is Michael Jordan. Now, it's crazy that the Warriors' performance made the Spurs double, triple doubles between Wemby and Castle be the sub-headline. But, Brian, how would you grade San Antonio's performance, albeit in a loss?
Okay, so San Antonio obviously has a lot going for them. They are, taking huge strides forward. They came into this game 8-2. They're way up there in the standings, but they still have some issues with their roster they got to work on. Primarily, they don't shoot the three-pointer that great. And so in this game, and I know you're not going to outshoot Steph, but they get outshot by 7 threes in this game. They're in the bottom 10 in three-pointers made, and that's why Wemby has been kind of shooting a little bit more threes. And then, if he's having a night where they're keying on him and he's got 8 turnovers, they got to take the ball in his hands a little bit. They, if it's not working for him, they got to take some of the pressure off of his plate.
I will say that they do look good. I agree with Wendy. It's an anomaly to see Jimmy Butler hit 5 threes. He hit 5 threes last night. Moses Moody, they got it. Al Horford, time and time again, and obviously Steph, tore him apart in that third quarter. He got it going, but mostly from the mid-range. But I like what they're doing in San Antonio. We got to get De'Aaron Fox more in the rhythm and be more aggressive. I feel like he's playing to fit in, and that's kind of causing his be less aggressive. They need him more aggressive. When they get Dylan Harper back, they're still getting guys healthy. But I like what I'm seeing. They're still young. They need experience, but it's going to take some time.
But Perk, do you think that the Spurs are ahead of schedule?
Look, I think the Spurs are going to make the playoffs, okay? I think you got to grow, right? We didn't see all the guys take that step forward, the elite players, where they get theirs and go through the growing pains of making guys around them better. That's what we're seeing out of Victor, right? Seeing how to play alongside, seeing how to put guys to be in position to play alongside him. That's why we saw the 8 turnovers. De'Aaron Fox was brought in to be that closer. I'm going to give them some grace. You know why? Because De'Aaron Fox is only back. He hadn't been back for, 3 or 4 games? So I'm going to give him a grace, but I'm pretty sure they're going to figure it out. And it's going to be exciting to see that 2-man game once they get that chemistry down between Wemby and D. Fox.
So that was the best of the matchup on the floor. How about off the floor? In case you missed it, prior to Steph's 46-point performance, Steph Curry made one special fans' night, signing his Curry prosthetic and taking a picture or 2.
That's dope.
That is so cute. That is impact, and that is a super fan. Showing some discomfort in his groin area. He would leave the game and not return.
That sucks.
I know.
On your birthday.
I know, on your birthday. That's the worst kind of present. But another present on the other side was his teammate, Franz Wagner, Wendy.
This is Franz's best game so far this year. And the Magic have been warming up, and this was a big moment for them.
Huge moment. And then in the fourth quarter, Brunson drives, shoots the jumper. Knicks got the lead. Big body Brunson. Then, in response, Jalen Suggs catches it on the wing, knocks down the 3. Calm down.
I got this.
Now, later in the fourth, not just a tough loss for the Knicks, but also a tough moment because Brunson drives to the basket, twists his ankle while going for the layup. He would head to the locker room after shooting 2 free throws. The Magic go on to win 124-107. Now, senior NBA insider Shams Charania joining us now for the latest on the status of 2 Eastern Conference All-Stars who had their nights cut short. Now, Shams, what more can you tell us about Paolo Banchero?
Paolo Banchero, an MRI just this afternoon, Sinead, revealed that he has a mild left groin strain. He's going to be out in Friday's home game against the Brooklyn Nets. He may even miss Sunday's game at Houston. But my understanding is this is a sigh of relief for the Magic. He's going to be reevaluated on a daily basis moving forward. They're going to treat this as a day-to-day injury, see his response to treatment. Obviously, we know Paolo Banchero is built, very strong player, very physically gifted. And so for Paolo Banchero now, it's going to be about getting through this treatment and rehab.
So a little bit of a sigh of relief for Magic fans. How about Jalen Brunson?
Jalen Brunson left last night's game with an ankle sprain, what appeared like, and he left with a boot and crutches. I'm told today's been about getting reevaluated, getting tests done. This is the same ankle that he missed considerable time with last season. And he's one of the toughest players in the league. So if he's on a boot and crutches after the game, it speaks to the pain and swelling he's been dealing with. We're going to see and await word here on what exactly the severity is for Jalen Brunson.
So we'll wait for more information for you on that. Thank you so much, Shams. And I know the East is really a dogfight right now because Detroit is in first place in the Eastern Conference. Now, here's what the starting 5 looked like on opening night. Take a look at that, please, because the Pistons are without Cade Cunningham. Oh, my gosh, just one guy available. Duncan Robinson.
Carry us home, Duncan. Carry us home.
Well, guess what? He showed up, especially early. The Pistons are without Cade Cunningham tonight, or yesterday, as they look to extend their 7-game win streak. And that one starter showed up, Perk.
He did, and everyone was wondering who was gonna replace Malik Beasley. Duncan Robinson had him a night last night, but King leads the league in mid-range makes. Look at the footwork. Look at the ink. Look at the old school finger. I know JJ Redick broke the TV in the back.
You're going to say Come
here. Can I have this dance, young fella?
He had 30 points, 9 assists. OKC wins this one easily. Our sis Malika Andrews with the MVP postgame.
2 good teams, high-level opponents with talent, with experience, playoff teams, obviously. We just want to come out here and throw our best punch to see where we stood this early in the season. We did a pretty good job in the back-to-back. But yeah, we definitely got better the last 2 days, and that's the main goal.
Well, if this is pretty good, then it might be scary what very good is, Shea. Thank you so much for the time. I appreciate it.
All right, appreciate it. All right, guys. ESPN, I still play basketball, I swear.
We got you, J-Dub. We did not forget about you, but this OKC squad somehow hasn't missed a beat without their all-NBA forward. They are running through the start of their repeat campaign at lightning speed. Now, if you think that they're resting on their success, think again. Look at this. OKC was dominant last season, setting the NBA record for highest point differential per game. Now, this season, they're winning by an even bigger margin, each win coming by over 15 points a night. But that's not where it stops. The defense leads the way for the Thunder, and they put up historic marks last season, turning the best defense in the league into an offensive weapon. Well, this season, they are even better on that side of the floor. Oklahoma City is having the best defensive rating by any team since the 2020 Bucks, a team that had Giannis win DPOY. And with that collection of talent, it's no surprise that the Thunder led the league in wins last season. They had a franchise best 68 wins and saw SGA win MVP, but this year has been the remix, baby. OKC is winning more than ever before because right now they're on pace to get 75 wins. Let that sink in. 75 wins. This is the 80th season that the NBA has existed, and the champs are on pace to do something no other team has done before. Now the stats, the numbers, they're truly eye-popping. But you know the saying, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. So Brian, what did that game last night crystallize for you?
So they were missing 3 of their best perimeter defenders, and the number 1 scorer in the league came in Luka Doncic, and they held him to his worst offensive game of the season. They double-teamed him, which, by the way, in case anybody's asking about whether the Lakers need LeBron, they need LeBron. They double-teamed him 14 times in this game. But with all those numbers, I'm just going to crystallize something here with the way they're defending. They're number 1, okay, in defense. Then Denver's number 2. The distance between Oklahoma City and Denver is the same distance as between Denver and number 20. Denver, number 2, is closer to 20 than they are to number 1. And part of this is because they have this young guy, A.J. Mitchell. Now, this is a guy who was on a 2-way contract last year. He doesn't have a nickname. I'm not good at giving nicknames, but how about the Belgian Bullet? Because This dude has been an absolute
Ballin'.
gold mine for them. This is not a stopgap measure. This guy has been awesome at both ends of the court. He is a guy that they knew was ready to have a bigger role. Last year, he started out immediately as a two-way player in their rotation. Then he got hurt, and they got awesome, and he didn't have a time. They knew he was ready for a bigger role. It just so happened that these injuries have opened the door for him, and he is a bona fide player. Learn his name. AJ is going to be a really difference-making player in this league. I'm going to tell you something else. The Thunder signed this guy to a 3-year, $8 million contract in the middle of the night in the offseason, just in case you thought they might have had one bad day in the summer.
I get so many calls from NBA fans asking me, hey, who's this AJ Mitchell guy? Like, he's really good.
You know who
They're deep. What did you say yesterday? When the Atlantic and the Pacific comes together, that's how deep.
Deep they are. Deeper than both of those oceans. Here's the thing. Didn't Sam Presti go into the Hall of Fame or something like that?
Oklahoma
Hall of Fame. Well deserved. And he'll be in the Basketball Hall of Fame for having one of the best eyes in the game of basketball. And when I say best eyes, yes, you want to see guys put the ball in the basket, but you also want to see guys be some hyenas and some dogs on the defensive end. And that's exactly what they have. Check out this tape. Everyone is tied together on the string. Look at the communication. Look, forcing out. Good job by Isaiah Hardenstein. Look where the dribble handoff takes place. Look at the hedge. Look how far Luka is, or is that Austin Reeves? That's Luka. How far he has to pass the ball. Chet Holmgren, excellent shot blocker, hell of a recovery. Here we go again. Now he'll go to backups. They come in with 5 new players off the bench. You think it's a drop-off? Hell no. Alex Caruso crowding Luka without fouling. You have Jalen Williams coming up. Look at him. He's staring Luka in the eyes. He's telling them square. Look at the 2-9 position to help, and look at the shot that they make Luka Doncic take. Luka Doncic struggled. He had been giving everybody that work over this past season, leading the league in scoring. This is the second team that they have embarrassed. The Golden State Warriors had a meltdown after their game, and then last night we saw the frustration not only on Luka's face, but JJ ranting up and down the sideline.
Yeah, you would think that a Luka Doncic or Austin Reeves, they did a great job of playing without fouling, but they would have an IQ high enough to pick that defense apart or be patient. They still turned them over, and they got Luka frustrated. But you got to give them a lot of credit, man. And you don't see this type of maturity, this type of growth with a young group. They reminded me of the young dynasties we've seen in the past. When you go back to the Lakers, you go back to San Antonio Spurs, the Golden State Warriors, they're up and coming. And for them to still be hungry and that focus and locked in this early in the season, most teams get fat and happy, get relaxed, might drop a game or two. They're really trying to make a statement and getting better this year.
Let me ask you a question. You played on a great defensive team with the Spurs. I played on a great defense. Have you ever seen anything like this?
Not one.
They got to have something on the board in the locker room where it's a competition of who get the most deflections and steals. I've never seen nothing like this in my life.
I agree.
We've had like 1 through 7, 1 through 8. They have like 1 through 15 guys off the bench. You see that they're making them feel you, getting up in the body. Luka's at half court making full court like passes to DeAndre Ayton, getting shot blocked on the glass.
Hey, did you guys know that they have the Clippers pick this year?
The rich get richer. It is not fair.
They have everybody's pick.
The Oklahoma City Thunder clear head and shoulders the best team in basketball. Let's go and check on last night's big 3. Coming in at number 3, SGA. Did you guys see this? Sweet pass. Boom.
Oh my God, where'd that come from?
Isaiah Joe. We got to take another look at this. Come on. Oh my God.
By the way, SGA has played every game this season after the run he had last
Bionic. At number 2, where are we going? 281-330-8004. The H-Town. Hey, Evan Thompson. We know what he does.
All right.
Hello. They call it Space City. Hot lit last night as the Hawks smacked the Kings 133-100. Atlanta is now 5-2 without Trae Young this season. Ryan, what's been their key to recent success?
Defense. In those 7 games, they are the number 2 ranked defense in the league. Trae does some awesome stuff offensively. Defensively, he can be attacked. Without him out there, there's disadvantages and there's advantages. They've been better defensively.
Now, it has been a long time since Sacramento has been able to light the beam, and it might not even work anymore. It might be a little bit broken because the Kings have lost 4 straight games by 14 or more points, including, y'all are funny, their 33-point beatdown to the Hawks. Here's Doug Christie after the game.
If you've ever been to any gym, rec, hood, anywhere, get ran off the court and see if you get some respect. You are not going to represent Sacramento Kings. It just ain't happening, man. Not while I'm here. And you know how that goes. So I'm a realist. It's part of our business. But put on a jersey, represent it properly. These people need to come into the turnstiles, and they need to be proud when they leave here about the product that they see. You know, sometimes you come up here and you're trying to figure out, well, you know, maybe I go back and look at. I don't need to look at no tape. Probably won't look at it. I seen it once live. Damn, if you want to look at it again.
I understand that pain. There are some games where you're like, I don't need to see the tape.
You got to flush it.
It's living in my head. Your reaction?
I got whiplash with Doug Christie because just like 2 days ago, he was talking about, you know, this, we're going to kill all the haters and we're going to send some message, and his team heard that and delivered this. They've got a flawed roster, and they're playing in the Western Conference. Almost every night they walk out there, they're at a disadvantage. He obviously wants them to play harder, but the Kings are not positioned to compete in the Western Conference right now.
I understand losing games, but losing games like this, and give Atlanta credit, they've been playing better, but losing games like this to an Atlanta Hawks team, which most people don't consider a very good team, is very disappointing and embarrassing. So they have to have some pride at some point. Obviously, the roster is not built good enough to compete with certain groups, but this was an absolute trap.
Our amazing director, Matt, can you zoom in on Kirk? Kirk was looking quite depressed, stressed for a moment.
Man, because I don't want to be this guy because of the respect that I have for the veterans on that squad and what they've done in the past. But I will say this. DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine left Chicago. Chicago's doing just fine. Okay? Russell Westbrook left Denver. Denver is doing just fine. All I'm saying is I'm not saying they're the problem, but I'm not saying they're the reason either, meaning the reason for us being successful. And the thing is, this has been the most dysfunctional organization in the NBA, right? No consistency. They fire coaches every other year. They got rid of De'Aaron Fox, Tyrese Halliburton. I'm sorry, Doug Christie, what did you expect? You thought you was gonna be Jesus Christ?
Oh my gosh, that's too far. That's the holiday in December. Let's talk about the holiday in November, because the third annual
NBA
Cup rolls on with the Thanksgiving Eve group stage triple header. Pistons Celtics begin the day at 5 Eastern, then Timberwolves Thunder with the Rockets and Warriors capping the night at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. It all starts with NBA Countdown at 4:30 Eastern, a nice little NBA appetizer before Thanksgiving. Y'all been waiting all day for this. Hey, ladies, now the women's college hoops were Notre Dame guard Hannah Hidalgo was in her Birkin bag last night. 18th ranked Notre Dame hosting, what, Wendy? Akron?
The Zips.
Come here.
She had 16 steals. Danny,
call the cops.
Call the cops. It was a straight up robbery. Danny, do you know what? It was half of that. It was 3. Both of you, your career highs combined were half of what she produced on the floor.
Yeah, she tripled it.
Swiper, no swiping.
I say this all the time, but she literally was on their behind like back pocket.
Period. Now, in the fourth quarter, you'll see it on this play. She registers her 15th steal in NCAA Division I record. 44 points.
This is Hidalgo Island.
All these steals went to buckets. 44.
And Notre Dame wins. Now, after the game, Hannah Hidalgo paid homage to Will Chamberlain, showing off her impressive stat line. Fresh off of her historic performance, Notre Dame junior guard Hannah Hidalgo joins the show. Now, Hannah, at what point did you realize that your 16 steals, I still can't believe it, 16 steals made history?
I honestly didn't know until after the game, after the lines, when all my teammates were around me screaming and pushing me. And even so, I didn't know what was going on. Ashton was trying to say on the mic that I had just broken the record, so.
You didn't just break the record, you obliterated it. But we all know also that you are the 2-time reigning ACC Defensive Player of the Year. Can you please, Hannah, teach us your ways? Where does your mind go when your team switches from offense to defense?
Yeah, I think for us, we have to be defensive-minded first, and I feel like that's always been my goal. Ever since I was younger, just being the smallest player on the floor, I always knew that I had to bring the defensive side first, and that really translates to my offense. So we got to be defensive-minded.
And do you feel like you became more scrappy having to face off against your brothers? I know you have 4 of them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, of course, my youngest brother, he's 6'4", and so it's like I had to be able to get lower than him and steal the ball from him, like, all the time. I wasn't getting up and blocking his shot or doing anything like that. And so definitely being scrappy comes from playing against my brothers.
And so your brothers, you're welcome for all this high achievement.
Yeah,
Now, it wasn't just defense. You also just set a school record with